Greetings, this is Fred Barstein from 401k TV, and today we have one of our TPSU adjunct lecturers and now an author, Daniel Bryant, and he's going to tell us a little bit about a new book that he wrote. Daniel is the founder and of Sheridan Road, which is now part of Hub International. And he's the president, national sales for wealth and retirement for Hub. So Daniel, congratulations on writing a book. I'm sure you had a lot of time during the pandemic and you put it to good use. What's the name of the book and why'd you write it?
Fred, the name of the book is Borrow Less Today. And I wrote it candidly because there is no book today that looks at the importance of wellness in the workplace. And I think I've got a very unique perspective on wellness in the workplace, having worked with both employers and employees and understanding record keepers and carriers. So I have a 360-degree view of the importance of wellness in the workplace.
Yeah, and you have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of participants in the plans that you manage, right?
About 500,000 participants in our plans.
Wow, congratulations. So talk about the expectations of, the employee base today, especially the millennials, around financial wellness.
Of course, I think today, so millennials make up almost 100 million Americans today. And so what's fascinating about millennials is they are not only driving sort of the culture in this country, but also driving public policy and legislation. And about 75% of millennials not only want, but expect the employer to provide financial wellness and wellness strategies to them at the workplace. So I think it's interesting when you look at companies, they're the natural provider of these wellness solutions because employees have an affinity, they believe in the mission of the employer, and they're spending a vast majority of their daylight hours at the workplace. So they have a trust with that employer. And so millennials expect the employer to help them with their financial literacy.
Plus, there's a lot of good data that we can use to help those millennials and customize the program.
Absolutely. Employer not only has the time, they have a captive audience in their employees, they have the data from the carriers, from the record keepers, so they can target market financial wellness solutions to their employee base depending upon their age, their financial needs and anxieties, whether they're a millennial or a baby boomer, they have different needs and stresses, and the employer is the right avenue through which to deliver those solutions.
So why should an organization that sponsors a retirement plan, offer these solutions? What's in it for them?
Well, I think what's interesting also is that if you go back a couple decades, this was not the norm, right? And so what's happened over the last couple decades, and the book talks about these 6 mega trends that provide insights to the employers in terms of how to leverage those trends to help the employee base. But 5 years ago, this was sort of a one-off, or it wasn't sort of normal to provide financial wellness or well-being solutions. But now it's table stakes, right? It's expected, it's needed. And so it's important for an employer to have these in place to attract, hire, retain, and reward that next generation of employees. And without it, it's difficult to become the employer of choice within your particular industry unless you have these incredibly integral benefits that are now the most important. If you look at, apart from, your salary, benefits are the second biggest spend for a company, and these are right at the top of the food chain.
Right. So, I'm always interested because when I ask people, everyone's got a different definition of what financial wellness is. So what is financial wellness?
Well, I love your quote and Phil Waldeck's quote that if you ask people what is financial wellness, you get 12 people, what is financial wellness? You get 12 different answers. Right. I think, so it's difficult to understand what is financial wellness, but we definitely understand what financial illness is. And so financial wellness to us is really just moving somebody along that life's journey from a point of financial stress or anxiety to a place of financial confidence or financial fitness. And so it includes a whole variety of different things in terms of planning, budgeting, managing, retirement preparation, and obviously all of the debt overhang that we have, whether it's student loans or credit cards. So it's getting a handle on that, because you can't save more tomorrow and become financially fit unless you borrow less today.
So how does your book help?
Well, our book looks at strategies. It looks at those 6 megatrends that I talked about. So whether it's human behavior, how people are actually making decisions in their waking lives, going through the day, how do they determine what to buy, how to save, all of those sorts of things. And then obviously the demographic is a huge driving point for employers. So what we do is we lay out what is a financial wellness strategy, what does it look like, what are the programs prescriptively you could offer to your employee base, and then know that your different employees have different needs. So it's taking a look at those 6 trends, taking a look at those 4 impediments from a debt standpoint that are inhibiting people from lessening their financial anxiety, and giving the employer, empowering the employer to help them empower their employees to make better decisions.
So final question, Daniel, how is the COVID-19 crisis changing the financial wellness landscape?
You know, I think for the last 6 months, we have moved forward probably 6 years when it comes to the understanding of financial wellness, the interconnectivity between financial wellness, health wellness, and emotional well-being. I think this distributed work environment where people are working at home, I think the CEOs and CFOs and HR are, for the first time, we're seeing it completely aligned, right? So it's no longer one group trying to convince the other of the importance of wellness in the workplace. What we're seeing is everyone is aligned to try to help motivate and provide solutions that help people lessen their anxieties, be more productive, lead more fulfilled lives and more impactful lives. And if they do that, that not only helps them individually, but it helps the employer, helps the company, helps the soul of that company, and ultimately helps the profitability as you see better returns, less absenteeism, less, more presenteeism, and things of that nature.
Right. It's probably a way to keep people together when we're working remotely.
Absolutely.
So how can people get your book? Remind us of the name again.
It's called Borrow Less Today, and you can get it or find it at borrowlesstoday.com. It'll also be pre-ordered. Pre-orders will be available on Amazon here in the next couple of weeks. So we'll be speaking about it in the coming months, but Borrow Less Today and on Amazon.
Great. Well, congratulations again. We'll be looking for your next book soon, and we'll be looking to see you. Daniel does 6 programs a year for us in Denver, in Chicago, and Nashville. So if you want to see a celebrity in person, you can come to one of his programs. And we're doing virtual now, so so that's really great. So thank you, Daniel, and see you soon.
Thank you, Fred. Really appreciate it.